Welcome, everybody, back to Hiveswap Friendsim. My name is Brodimus. Last time we had Zabidi. It was my adorable little bee-themed son. I found out some people were telling me that he might have some really shitty happen in his, he might be kind of a shitty person in his, bad route, but we're not going to the bad route. Now we're going over to Tegiri, who I've been very excited for. Yeah, friendship friend, Tegiri Kalber with this fucking JoJo character portrait, which I am a big fan of, and I'm really excited for this fucking loser. Alright, let's get into it. In an utterly uninspiring turn of events, the knight finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably, although you've been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. Yes, I have. I've been known to get along swimmingly with some of the more violent of the trolls. Your current hunting ground... Sorry, my mustache is bothering me. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for companionship. You've got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow far on the horizon would suggest that the sun will be rising soon, a couple hours from now at most. Nights on Alternia seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard, like a truck, but the truck is on fire, and the fire is nuclear fusion, and the truck is a star. Point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn, and you'd better snag a buddy before it's too late. Oh, boy. Why does he have a... Okay, what kind of voice will Tegiri have? You, a strange, hornless thing. Oh, boy. Speak of the devil, you whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheathed behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. What are you, some kind of mutant troll or another sentient creature? Definitely the latter, you say, unless you would prefer the former, in which case you're that, actually. But mutants, you've learned, are not particularly well liked on this planet. An alien? I won't have to cull you, then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be, a cull-on-sight species. Lucky for you, that won't have... I won't have to loose my blade, and lucky for me to have found a potential comrade. I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship. Not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. He's gonna keep going. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society, or the IFAS. IFAS. Or as some less cultured souls would call it, the Anime Club. Oh, a club! Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. You didn't really believe it then, but everything are different here on Alternia. You definitely assert that, yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no-shows, but now I can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. He gestures toward his hive and begins to stride confidently toward it, but then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. Wait. Subs or dubs? Oh, shit. Alright. So this is where we separate who's gonna actually stick with me. I prefer dubs. This motherfucker's gonna kick my ass on the curb, though. I prefer English dubs. Let's see how this goes.
Perfect, a fellow connoisseur. Let's continue.
Oh, okay, good. Good. He's not gonna fucking eliminate me because I fucking... Alright. Tegiri invites you into his hive with a sweeping bow, and you step into the foyer. Okay. Oh boy, what kind of references do we have here? I see Luffy up there in the top, right. Who else do we have here? Oh boy, there's a lot going on here. The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by Troll standards, at least. I'm so excited to be meeting this fucking loser. But the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to it. It reminds you of Japanese architecture. Tegiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You'd take your shirt off too if you had any. I don't have any shoes. And what am I wearing? Am I still wearing the dress that Chixie gave me? Is that what my current attire is? As you step into his living room, you are assaulted, not literally, thankfully, by an absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Gorgle search for Otaku Collection and opened the first result. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of wall available, and the inches of wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a veritable cornucopia of anime figurines, most of whom seem to be in varying states of undress. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie! Tegiri has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. There's fuchsia up there.
I see you're admiring my fine East Alternian collectibles. I polish them daily just as I polish my blade. Don't touch them, or you'll taste folded steel.
Oh boy, how do you slowly retract your hand? You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never ever something you were planning on doing. You won't even breathe on them. I won't even think about them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles, just in case. Oh! It's so cute! With that step, you bump into something behind you and hear a soft ruff. As you spin around to look, you see what must be Tegiri's Lucis surveying you with an intense gaze. It looks a lot like a Shiba Inu if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing you is pretty entrancing, so that's weird. That's an odd Lucis. Eventually, you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room. You hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen.
That was Tadashi Inu, my Lucis. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei.
Yeah, dogs are great, you respond, and then immediately wish you could take that back. Dogs are great. That's got to be the blandest possible statement you could have made. Yeah, dogs are great. And possibly inaccurate, too. What's this thing called? A bark beast, a fetch fiend, a wolf gremlin? Oh, Tegiri isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy perusing his shelves, picking out some DVDs.
Per my viewing schedule, we will watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and from one recent release. But, since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of Last Bout's series Philosopher Half-Iron.
What?
Perhaps we shall instead begin with the first season of School-Fed Heroism and transition into some episodes of Kismet-Stuck Morning.
The fuck? Hang on, I need some water for this. I need to prepare myself for whatever I'm about to experience.
The original airing, of course, not the censored one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Ugh.
Looks like Tegiri intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely copacetic. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm chill. I don't really know what to do. What do I do with my hands? The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. I mean, yep, no, that's true. That's a fair point. It's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far, so you're sticking to it! 1 to 19 friends so far? That's pretty fucking funny. With deft and precise movements, Tegiri retrieves a disc from its container and pops it into the troll equivalent of a DVD player. It makes a slimy chugging noise as it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. I am a little weirded out by this. The DVD player hums, and Tegiri's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. Are you ready to get settled in for a journey through the wonderful world of the animes? But he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in.
Hang on. This isn't the correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was called by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. I specifically ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable.
Tegiri stops the DVD player, ejects the disc, and places it back in its case.
Come, there's still time in the night. We need to go resolve this immediately.
Please don't.
The shop that imported it for me is nearby.
Oh boy, he heads for the door and beckons for you to follow. Okay, which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? Yeah, at least you get to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be at one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder?
No, unlike most stores in Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll, a fellow collector who would not entrust such work to automation. No one would expect, with an actual think pan involved, there would be no careless mistakes like this, or one would expect. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble.
You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Do you know how awful it is here? I mean, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. You don't want to human-splain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here.
Things are pretty awful here.
Oh, you guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the streets, which has been defaced with bright red graffiti. It's saying some pretty net stuff about Trizza.
Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril, a blade's edge. And not on any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp folded steel katana, forged under the East Alternian moonlight, heated by the bellows breath of a magnificent draconian Lucis, cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall.
Can we stop with this?
and fit to be handled only by a true expert. Do you dance?
You're a little caught off guard by the question. Dancing? As in, moving one's body to the music?
In a way, yes. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel, the rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance?
Oh, sword fighting. Of course, you really should have figured that one out. This guy's dial has only 2 settings, talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. Particularly frisky. You tell him this is... Oh my goodness gracious. This is exactly the type of crazy I was hoping for. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool and you'd love to learn.
Cool. Swordplay is more than cool. It is a way of life, a code of honor. To pick up the blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido, and to be prepared at all times to enforce justice the only way a swordsman knows, through steel. Someday, the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum.
Whoa, hold on. Is this guy down with the society?
I must be ready to show them the true magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows, maybe I would even be awarded a Clowngressional Medal of Honor. A troll can dare to dream.
So that's why he practices swordplay, huh? To enforce justice, kind of like a vigilante?
Vigilante? Please. I would only ever cull a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for?
I mean... Yeah. I didn't say it. You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's a very smart and clever and just. You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise.
Well, here. This won't take too long.
He's taking you to a night market that reminds you of the place where you met Polypa. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls, and under... Oh boy, I can't read. And a sign above one door reads, Super Tapato Imports. That's also... yeah, that's another thing. I couldn't remember who Tegiri had mentioned, who's referenced in Polypa's, so... That's kind of a fun one there. Oh boy. It's a little Mega Man guy up there. Oh boy, there's so much going on here. As you enter, Tegiri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking Goldblood with pinkish-looking eyes. You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like Tegiri's living room, but bigger. Anime figurines on sale for what looks to be a preposterous amount of money, DVDs and comics lining the shelves, arcade games in the corner. There's even a section for replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particular interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. You're pretty sure you heard Tegiri snarling something about his rights as a consumer? Looks like trouble is brewing. You turn your head toward the counter and listen in.
Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am, my Bloodcast?
Oh boy, you're pulling the Bloodcast card.
My Bloodcast? A teal blood like me has connections, a vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your, oh boy, puerile mind could ever imagine. A fleet of legislators will descend on you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all, knowledge. And your intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, our intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing, you will wish for a swift and early death my blade can provide. Or, you can offer me an exchange of equal or greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum?
Oh boy. You wander close to the counter, hoping you might be able to help resolve the situation, but instead you blunder right into the olive blood and send a box tumbling from his hands to the ground. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is, looks like some more DVDs and manga. One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign. And whoa, hang on, what? And another features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too tall for him. Tegiri picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face.
Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate, number the 2nd, section 3.2, the depiction of non-standard hemological attributes is strictly forbidden. Imperial Dictate, number the 7th, section 5, material which incurs action against the state is considered contraband of the highest degree.
Okay, so you actually know some shit, Tegiri. The olive blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttlebuggy without wheel stops, begins to creep toward the door. You love to do the same, but you can't give up on a potential new friendship. It's basically pathological.
To think that my favorite Eastern Alternian hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. What a sickening betrayal.
The shopkeeper stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incense Tegiri further. He was holding it for a friend! No, wait, it's satire? Does he have a fucking... What is it? I never watched Naruto. Is that's Sharingan? Is that what it is? No, I don't fucking know what it is. Tegiri slams a palm down on the counter, and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern.
Imperial Dictate Number the 61st, Section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary Legislacerator, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now it's time for the punishment. You're fucking dead, kiddo.
Whoa! Whoa, okay, hang on, there's an Overwatch logo over there. Trollverwatch. As Tegiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw. He's about to straight up execute this guy. You know what? I'm not gonna get in the way of this. What do I know about troll justice? I mean, nothing. I mean, I'm friends with the lawyer, Gorgor. I'm friends with, Tysius. But you know what? I'm not here. I'm just here. I'm just here. You really don't want to get in between the shopkeeper Tegiri's sword. For all you know, this really does warrant an immediate execution. Who are you to judge? Not me. Nope. You do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full gory detail of the culling. Oh boy, it turns out it's not nearly as gory as you expected. Tegiri leaps over the counter and swings wildly at the guy, but many of his attacks fail to connect. It's mostly a bunch of bombastic anime-style moves that don't translate well to actual combat. Still, some strikes at home, drawing a spray of murky gold blood that jolts the shopkeeper out of his petrified fear. He screeches and unleashes a strobing psionic blast from his eyes, causing Tegiri to stagger back, disoriented. The flash of light doesn't seem to have caused any real damage, but it offers the perfect opportunity to flee. By the time your eyes have adjusted, the only thing they see is the back door swinging wildly in his wake. Unsurprisingly, the yellow blood is nowhere to be seen as well. Tegiri glances down at his katana, stained with the blood of the shopkeeper, and slowly sheathes it. His hand is shaking, claws tapping the hilt restlessly. He turns slowly to you, forcing himself back into his usual stoic posture. He got lucky, that's all. But he can't hide forever. Let's go. We need to report this to a drone. I'm an alien! He strides out of the shop, leaving you to follow hurriedly behind. What a mess. You hesitantly ask him whether it was really necessary to try and kill that boy for what he did. Of course it was. The law is absolute. A foreigner like you might not understand. It is not my duty to question the righteousness of my actions. I am but a tool through which the law is enforced. I am the blade that her imperious condescension wields to maintain order in this world of chaos. So this guy is really he drank the Kool-Aid way long ago. He is down for this. Just like this drone. He gestures to one of the big hulking drones that you've grown all too familiar with during your stay here in Alternia. Right now it looks like it's cleaning up some bronze-colored blood that was spattered on the side of a building. Tegiri approaches and hails it, beginning to explain that there's a collector's shop he needs to report for rebel activity, but the drone isn't listening to any of that. It slowly turns from him to stare directly at you, and it raises its weapon to your face. A grating electronic noise issues from its metallic grill. In the immortal words of a wise cartoon dog, roll. Hold it! This creature is under my protection. It has committed no crime. If you continue... Oh, boy. If you continue this attempted culling, I will strike back with my katana. And a strongly worded letter to your superiors. The drone seems supremely annoyed that it can't just It can't just get right down to calling a motherfucker, but Tegiri's cast must be just high enough to give it pause. You, the motherfucker in question, are incredibly relieved. That relief quickly fades when the drone produces a palm husk with a blurry picture of you on the screen and a lot of text beneath, most of it flashing red. That's never a good sign. It looks like a rap sheet. Tegiri reads through it quickly. Oh shit. What are the illegal things I've done? I've been complicit in the murder of a Highblood. I stole a scuttle buggy, raided a warehouse, and murdered some dudes. What else have I done that's illegal? Tegiri reads through it quickly, which is a pretty impressive feat considering his eyes are still closed, and his expression darkens the further down he gets. Wanted under... Oh no, we did break into that meat locker. Wanted under suspicion of meat product theft, heist of fine art, accomplice to the assassination of a violet Oh yeah, also Polypus thing. Oof. You didn't realize he'd racked with such a heavy list of crimes. He's already rounding on you with fury rating off every inch of his being. It's terrifying. You've seen this guy arguing with a retail clerk. You know what he's capable of. All this time I thought your soul was open in the way of the samurai. I thought I had met a potential new connoisseur of the animated arts. But no. Your blood pusher pumps only lies through your villainous veins. You were just looking for an alibi, a place to bide your time, to hide away from the drones until it was time to indulge once more in your criminal ways. You tried to defend yourself. You didn't do any of those things, and you had a perfect good reason for most of them. Tegiri isn't buying it. Of course he isn't. He's clutching his katana's hilt so tight, veins are bulging on his hand. Silence, coward. The time has come for my blade to strike true. Ha! He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes at you, and you just barely manage to sidestep the attack. You dart backwards, stumbling. Fucking. What's the good ending here? Stumbling over yourself in your haste to get away while he swings his katana wildly around while making lots of weird grunting noises. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check his sword hand can't cash. But you doubt that matters when trolls are stronger and faster than you in general, and he's accompanied by a giant murder drone. It's time for you to split, and you'd better do it lickety. Glancing around, you notice that you're about to cross over a bridge with an underpass beneath it. Perfect! Just like an action hero, you can hop right over the edge of the road, duck into the underpass, and find a nice hiding spot. You dash toward the traffic barrier, vault nimbly over, and oh, Jesus piss, this is way higher than you thought it was. I've been there. I've actually done something not dissimilar. You hit the ground hard with a resounding crack, and for a moment your vision goes blank as a wave of pain sears your nerves. As the pain disorientation begins to fade, you decide it's about time to take stock of your situation. A couple of broken bones, old hat, a troll trying to kill you, not unfamiliar, drones attacking you, same, and sun about to rise and scorch you into nothing, again. Individually, you've risen to the challenge of just barely handling each of these problems, but all at once, yeah, I think you're gonna just call this one here. We're just useless. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alright, let's see if we can get the good ending. Fuck me. If any of you are curious about the story, that is not dissimilar to me jumping off of a bridge. I mean, I've jumped off a bridge, but it's something to where I wasn't expecting something to be as high as... Fuck, that thing. Please let me know. I'll be happy to explain because it is... Alright. I'm gonna go with dubs. We're gonna go back to the shop and I'm gonna intervene. Because I think that might be where I fucked up. I'm not sure.
Fellow connoisseur.
I'm trying to figure out what these other figures are, because I definitely see Troll Luffy up there. Wow, there's a lot that happens between the two decisions, aren't there? Alright. Defend... I think I fucked up again. Let's defend the shopkeeper, huh? Okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you've seriously had it up to here with being party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between Tegiri and the Goldblood. Does he really have to kill this guy for what seems like his first offense? You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, writing the value of forgiveness and second chances really hard. And for good measure, you throw in a little side note about how Tegiri's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence. Tegiri shoves you roughly aside, and you go careening into a display full of body pillows. You watch, stomach plummeting, as Tegiri turns back to the shopkeeper and slowly draws his sword. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders.
Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine.
Tegiri strides out of the store, holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wanted to exchange. You give the shopkeeper a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. Whew! That was a close one. You thank Tegiri profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you already forgot!
You're clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivete, but I should have just killed him. Death is the legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw...
Tegiri goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding. There's a lot of silence like this on this planet. Then, finally, he speaks.
This isn't my first time. It was just over a sweep ago, I believe. I was patrolling the hive batch in search of evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive, partially collapsed, partially on fire. My instincts flared. I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without elusives or a proper hive are considered unviable and slated to be culled. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet... I looked into her deep gray eyes, dulled from the pain of loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she is hiveless and glucisless, I remain in contact with her to this day. Is this Polypa? Is he talking about Polypa? Knowing deep down that one day I must cull her, the law demands it. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these?
If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her, even if he tried. Polypa's pretty fucking strong. But that's not the point here. The point is, he's feeling some real and true and deep emotion with you. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeping, vague wisdom that makes him feel better about potentially not being an unthinking cog in the alternative murder machine. Whatever. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. Just a little thought, a little nugget of wisdom there. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He goes silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip.
You're naive. Naive, uncultured, unenlightened.
Wow, thanks!
You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic where men such as myself must make the hard decisions. It's not easy being dedicated to the code of law. It asks much of us and gives us little in return, but it gives us order. It keeps the beasts at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants, for imperial drones to cull the infirm, for us to obey the ever-changing whims of the Alternian royalty?
It takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah, but for the sake of this burgeoning friendship, you allow him to continue his monologue, and I'd get some more water, because his voice, this is actually killing me. I guess similar level to Jahut.
Riots in the streets, troll killing troll, even more than usual, I mean. No, I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true. Though I feel a pull toward the scorching fangs of the light, I must continue my path and remain in the tender, righteous embrace of the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect my sensei, and justice my only companion on this lonely road.
I walk this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while. It all starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he'd repeated some screed. I've never heard of that word before. About justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. It honestly sounds to you like he's just lonely. You know a whole lot about loneliness and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends no matter the cost of their mental or physical well-being. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long and winding monologue, likely stolen from an anime he watched recently. Maybe you just let him vent.
You have my thanks for lending your ear.
Oh, a compliment brings you out of reverie. Nothing interrupts the old introspection machine like the opportunity to chug on the succulent ambrosia that is any kind of praise or gratitude. It's no big deal, you tell him. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends? Like you, for example? Maybe? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing, so you hastily try to change the topic. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have gray irises, and those who didn't follow a typical biological trend of displaying their blood color. Oh, excuse me. Tegiri pauses, his grip tensing on his sword as his fangs dig into his lip. Oh, Jesus must be his most closely guarded secret. Have you heard enough for us to hear it?
They're contact lenses for cosplay.
Of course! Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying as a different blood caste even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is, right? That's a good point. He has the purple, which would... I'd put him several castes above. You're about to ask when something distracts you, the sight of another troll standing in front of Tegiri's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and whirl their head around. Hey, wait a second, you recognize them. Oh! Hi, Polypa! I wasn't expecting this. I forgot Polypa's voice. Shit. Polypa spots you before Tegiri spots her. Her expression is hard and stoic, eyes glancing between the two as she assesses the situation. And then, like she's throwing onto the skies, her face softens and she smiles. Hey, Tegs. I was starting to wonder where you were and if anime night was canceled. Your Lucis is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing purr-beasts around the hive batch.
Heh, classic Tadashi. Why were you late?
Just busier than expected, with some work. She shoots you a sharp glance. Okay, work. Got it. Who'd you kill this time?
I sent me some new mecha models. You know how it is. Yes, of course, it's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyway, I didn't realize we'd have a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? You and my new...
Oh, you can't start throwing these words at me, man.
You and my new kohai have already met?
She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. She seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look like an assassin trying to evade capture, which she is. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it the last time you met. We're kinda... Moirails. Whoa, that's absolutely not what you thought you were, but you just kind of nod your head and roll with it. It seems to be what she wants you to do. Oh, Moirails. Tegiri's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your own friend-making eyes. Well, actually, a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finely tuned to the nuances of social situations, as long as those nuances don't involve making a binary choice in which your social future hinges.
Well, as you know, I'm far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort.
There's the meme. There it is.
A foolish waste of time. Were it not for the laws of this land, I would swear off them entirely.
Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you can join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear his Lucis barking from behind the door in a tone that sounds like laughter.
Fools mock that which they cannot understand. And to think I was going to congratulate you on finding love.
Whoa, hang on.
Once you finish your spiel about romance being dumb, Papa gives him a light, friendly whap, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Enough banter.
Enough of this gay banter.
The harsh glare of the sun begins to crest, and we have Eastern alternating animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend the day at my hive, if needed. There's space.
Oh shit, a slumber party? Hell yeah! And with more than one participant even? That's gotta be worth extra friend points. You are so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Papa smiles at you as the three of you enter Tegiri's hive. Is he? What the hell? There was Polypa's fucking root on the screen back there. Tegiri covers up all of his windows to block out the sun and then starts up a new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to meet his standards this time. You settle in on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to hours of the beautiful, wonderful animes. Alright. What did we end up watching? I'm curious now. That was absolutely as ludicrous as I was hoping it would be. I am pleased. Son of a bitch. Alright, let's go to the main menu. So we can have some music, have some sound going. Oh my gosh. So, I love that he's just the fucking weebiest weeb. I fucking love it. Because it's that really, like, cringy, like, oh, you're a fucking loser. I say this because I am also an anime fan. I watch a lot of anime. Current favorites being My Hero Academia, and fucking we started watching Cells at Work. Fucking great. If you like anime, you should watch Cells at Work. It's awesome. It's fucking funny. But I always, like, anyone I know that watches anime, I call them a fucking loser. Because I myself am a fucking loser. That was just as crazy as I wanted it to be, though. That was so fucking funny. It's interesting that he's like he is hardcore all about alternating society, though. Because it's a lot of the trolls I've met so far have been like kind of like in the middle, like, I mean, it's whatever, or they just straight up don't like it. But like Jahut wasn't a huge fan of it, but she's like a high blood. But she's gonna go with it. She's kind of like it's whatever. But Tegiri is like flat on like, no, this is the law of the land, and I follow this. I like that they have the teal blood obsession with law and order, keeping going. Oh, that was a lot of fun. There seems to be a theme about how like the people in Volume 10, Zabidi and Tegiri, they have like they're fun and they're interesting to be around, but they have like a different side of them that makes them kind of shitty. I don't really know what Zabidi's is yet because I haven't played the bad ending, but I've just added to the ever-growing list of people I need to go and deliberately fuck up. Fucking Skyla's, Zabidi's. I need to get to Zebra's good ending. That was a fun one, though. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So with that, we're gonna call it a video. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe so keep up with my stuff. See what the new Friendsim brings, what the new videos what the new absolutely batshit balls out crazy scenarios we get ourselves into at this series. And share it with your friends. Show them, have a good old anime night. Just sit down, watch an anime or two. And comment, let me know what you guys think. Cause, wow, fucking hell, man. Like, I found out like, the trolls from Zabidi's, like the music group that they're apparently there's a K-pop group called BTS. I have no idea what that is, but I found that out from you guys. Thanks for letting me know about that, because I had no idea what that was. But yeah, I like hearing from you guys. I like talking with you guys. It's fun. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and see you next time. Later, everybody.